camera. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Okay. Oh my God, it's been a while.
It's been so
years.
long.
Wait, how long? When was the last? When was our, our last episode?
Early last year.
Was it
Not
last year?
early. Come on now. It was last year though, but it wasn't early.
I think
last
it was
year.
2021.
Imam.
I don't recall actually having an episode.
Umang
2022.
Paro.
No, I mean, not that I'm lying. I just don't recall.
You just don't recall. Let me just check.
Okay, wait,
But yeah, no, it was October 2022. So what had happened is we recorded October 13.
Okay.
That's when we released. But we had a very long break. So then, like, in September, we said, we're back, baby. Then we only recorded till October. And we were not back, indeed.
Baby.
So yeah, we were off most of 2022.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like we were.
But we did record some, just not a lot.
Yeah, I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
let's start.
Okay. Hi, guys. It's your host, Matilda.
Hadiza.
And Imama.
And you're listening to the Africalypsopod podcast.
Again.
Welcome back, baby.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Man, it's been a minute. Like,
It really has.
I high-key even forgot that was our theme song.
And it's also so surreal because most of the time we record separately.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it
we're in
feels
the
very
same
awkward,
room.
like recording in the same room actually.
Yeah.
I'm used to lying on my bed, having my mic
Lying on your bed.
this close to
No,
me.
you can't see yourself like this. No,
Not
I never.
like lying, but on my bed though. Just having a mic like this. Yeah.
That's fair. This is nice. It's nice to have you guys in
It's
person.
nice to be in person,
Yeah,
for
to be
sure.
in person.
Yeah.
Recorded.
So, hey, guys. Remember us?
Oh, lol.
Did you forget about us? I hope you didn't.
I hope not. That would be very awkward.
That would be awkward.
I'm sure there are
But-
people who are like, finally.
Look, nobody
I
reached
hope
out to
so.
us to say,
But I don't.
I'm always.
do not be always. I
I'm
do
always
stuff like that. I do not be. I
But
don't like
but
it.
there's some don't you guys have podcasts where you're like, shit,
They haven't
did you
been
reach out to
there.
Osagi to say you didn't
Facts.
come back?
Facts.
But he came back and everybody was like, well, my body.
You guys know I'm joking, right? Because it got so serious so quick. But no. Like, I definitely have a lot of podcasts that in fact, I've never written into a podcast.
Oh my God, I've never listened to a
Wait, no,
podcast in my
apart
life.
from
Did you write to
Road to
Lustock?
30?
Road to 30.
Oh, okay.
But that
Oh,
is
yeah.
because they're really close in age to us. So I just feel like they're our buddies, like
Our
that.
guys.
Our guys. Yeah. So I think
No, us
apart from
fams in
that-
like this. Actually, no, they do know us.
They know us. Yeah,
know us. So we're
us,
not actually
yes,
fams
they know
in.
us. Yeah, but yeah, welcome back, guys, and welcome to the new listeners. Like, if there's anyone joining us for the first time,
Yeah.
thanks for joining. We are the Africalypsopod podcast. We are a weekly.
Bi-weekly.
We are a Nigerian society and culture podcast hosted by me, Matilda.
Imama.
And Hadiza.
And we delve into new topics every week. Every other week now.
Yeah, every other week. I was going to say every other bi-week.
Every other bi-week. On social issues. On social
I know when
issues.
Yoruba jumps out.
No, but Yoruba always jumps out. That's another thing to know about us. But on social issues, history, politics, finances, and just banter, really. We like just talking about, we like gist. And we like just talking about everything that makes us
Nigerian
in the diaspora because we all live in Canada and we all grew up in Nigeria.
But it's kind of interesting. I even think that grew up in Nigeria aspect. Did we really? We grew up some part of our lives in Nigeria, but our formative years, funny, I was listening to the old episode. I was talking about formative years. But we kind of got here like 15.
But like, I still feel like
No, I'm
10 to
still
15
very
is very
Nigerian, obviously, and I still grew up in Nigeria, but I feel like 15 to 18 is also very, 10 to 15 is fundamental, but
yeah.
I feel like we should say we grew up in Canada and Nigeria.
Because basically we're approaching spending almost half of our life in Canada.
That's fair. But
Yeah.
it's almost like when I think of here, I think I was grown up already. Because like I was so far away from like my parents. So like I pretty much was figuring out my own ways. So like when I think of that, if you're old enough for your parents to be like,
Well, our parents did that since boarding school, though.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, that's fair. But like,
We're
with
like
boarding
10.
school. Yeah, low-key.
No, but you know, I think the reason why I actually said that was because more recently I have cousins that like I'm around a lot, and like I think of their age, and I'm like, I mean, obviously they're growing, but one is like almost 15, and I can't imagine
Her being on her own.
exactly. So that's why I'm like, yes, obviously we grew up in Nigeria, but I think we also grew up in Canada as well. We just had to
We had a unique
teach
experience.
ourselves to grow up. Like we grew up by ourselves, as opposed to with like.
I still feel like 15
I
is
mean,
old. I ain't gonna lie.
it's
But
because
you're
you came here at
right.
15, but 15 is pretty young. Like when you
15
see
is very
15-year-olds,
young.
you're like 15 is young.
It's
Yeah,
young.
Is
legit.
young.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Where did the time fly though? Like, I actually don't get it.
Man.
I don't think I felt 15, but that's something to talk about later.
Because
'cause
we're
when
in
I
boarding
see-
school.
Yeah, you're right. Because like when I see 15-year-olds now, I would think a 15-year-old is young,
Mm-hmm.
but low key, like I was in a different state from my parents, like literally
Like a lot.
at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's the Nigerian diaspora experience is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely interesting.
If Nigeria was good, we wouldn't be here. But like,
I think
yeah.
about that a lot, and that generally has, like, more recently, like, especially with the whole election and everything has happened.
That's a thing we missed.
Yeah, we missed
Yeah.
talking about that.
We
That
missed
was
and there was
we missed
so
a lot
much
of
going
happening.
on.
happenings, but it's okay. Don't worry, we'll catch up. Last, the tribunal thingy is going on.
I don't think
now.
I don't think anything's gonna come of
You know,
it.
I actually forgot
think
about
so.
that.
I actually really think
I
something is
forgot
gonna.
that the tribunal
Because
was
there,
going
Tribunal,
on.
once
I
they
did not-
swear Tinubu in, I don't
No, but it's
think-
going to finish before they swear him in.
Is that what they said?
I mean, based on the dates that they gave us, it should.
Thank
Based
you
on the
for
dates they
clarifying
gave us,
that.
it should.
Based on the
But
dates they gave us.
I think I mean I really do believe that something would happen. And I feel like if something doesn't happen, if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to be more scared for the country than anything.
I'm already scared for the country.
I mean, for sure, but I feel like if something doesn't happen, I think like the amount of like riots that is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like it's not this. I don't think this is going to be one of those things that are just going to let go and be like, oh man, nothing happened again. I think this one is going to quite frankly cause like a shake up, like probably as big or even bigger than NSARS.
But then the thing is, if things happen the opposite way, there would also be some kind of a riot.
I
Don't
don't
you think so? No?
Mm-mm.
There will be.
I think
They're going
think
to-
it would be like a political class riots. Like it wouldn't be like a thing of the people. Do you grab? Like I feel like they might try to.
Do
like,
you
know,
think
pull-
Tinubu is going to let it go?
No, I don't think he. Oh my gosh, we're going off topic.
No, this is not really off topic. We've been gone for a really
Yeah.
long
We've been
gone for a
time,
while,
and that was
yeah,
a
that's
huge
true.
thing that happened.
Yeah.
So
when we
I'm
were
pretty
gone.
sure he's not going to let it go. But I just kind of feel like it's like I feel like he's going to want to fight it, especially with like his thugs like MC Oluomo and friends. Like I think he's definitely going to want to fight it for sure. But I also feel like the people would like rise up against it. Like, so that's why I feel like, yes, there'll be riots if he doesn't win. Like if like Peter Obi like ends up victorious and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like the people would fight against the riots such that it wouldn't be the worst thing. I feel like the other way around would be like worser, if that makes sense. It would still be bad.
I honestly
but-
don't think. Yeah, I don't think there's a good outcome. To be honest, now that you talk about it, but I honestly I'm not hearing much from the obedience like that as much.
Oh,
I feel like I'm
haven't.
hearing from them, but it feels like as the days go by, it's getting quieter.
Because Peter Obi
and
has told people to
quieter.
calm down.
Why are we calming down? Like because we
Oh,
don't
I feel like we
actually
stopped recording. Sorry.
Okay.
we don't know what's happening, and that's unfortunate. To be honest, I feel like at least keep us updated. Maybe it's me that's not keeping updated. To be honest,
Yeah,
but
but I was gonna say,
okay,
like, what
what's
do you
on?
mean? How keep up? Like, who's?
Like what's going on right now with the case?
It hasn't started yet. They're waiting for it to start.
Okay,
But then I think so.
but how is it gonna go? Like I don't get.
So they've picked their like the judges, like the committee. Like it's like they've picked the people that they need to that are going to fight the stuffs essentially.
Mhm.
And I think they said it was going to go for 3 days.
Oh, okay, just
So-
3 days.
Yeah, I believe based off of the information that I remember, I'm sure there might be things that I'm missing. I have to maybe go check because I've been looking at these things like casually on Twitter. Like I'm
Okay.
not like deep into it, but I see because I guess I have for some random reason lots of obedience on my TL.
No, it's not
But-
some. You have sensible people on your team.
Yeah, I guess I have
yeah,
sensible
yeah.
people on my TL. Yeah,
Even I, that I'm not on social media, I was in context to obedience.
They said
somehow.
obedience are the new Big Brother Nigeria.
I love it. You know what's so funny? Big Brother and Titans actually just happened, and barely
nobody
anybody
paid any attention.
Because, and also the fact that a South African won. Obviously, shout out to my South Africans. People are great.
Yeah.
But they're very xenophobic actually on the show. I'm so sorry. I love you guys, but on the show, there was a lot of xenophobia. But the fact that a South African won also just shows how much Nigerians were not paying attention. Because, like, not saying that they cannot win on their own, but Nigeria is such a populous nation.
Like voting.
That is like the amount of votes that would have just come from.
We were going through a lot.
And
we couldn't.
We're going through a lot.
And that's that. I feel like we said it on the podcast, like before it happened, like that. I just felt like it was a stupid thing on the part of Big Brother, like Nigeria or Big Brother Titan or whatever that was. Like, how can you schedule? You know that the elections are happening. Why would you schedule it around the same time?
It didn't make sense.
There were like conspiracies that they felt like they actually
wanted
wanted people to be distracted. Like, because like it's like, you know, the elections are happening, and you scheduled this thing like way ahead of time.
But then now they're lost though, because they lost viewership.
They lost the money because the amount of votes that they did not get.
At the end of the day,
ridiculous. Like, I'm just like, honestly, the whole thing was. I mean, the show was fun though. Funny enough, regardless.
Oh, you watched it?
I actually watched it. I mean, I'm not in Nigeria. I cannot vote, so.
I'm really looking forward to being able to vote somewhere, like just somewhere, because I feel like I am so deeply passionate about politics, but yet I've never actually been able to contribute to any country's politics. Like, I left Nigeria before I was 18. I came here and I still can't vote. Like,
scream.
It actually, like, and here I'm starting, like, sometimes I go down TikTok and I see like a lot of stuff happening here, but I'm just like, I can't even like pay too much attention because there's actually nothing I can do. Yeah. Like, when they have like referendums, like now Doug Ford is trying to like privatize healthcare, and like they're like, if you're a Canadian, but I'm like, but I'm not a Canadian.
She's like, I'm almost, just like, give me like, but you're almost there.
I'm almost there, but like, I just feel like, at this point I'm a little bit of nothing. Like,
I feel that actually.
Yeah.
No, I hear that still.
Yeah.
It's sad. Like I said, the Nigerian diaspora experience is so interesting. It's so unique.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we've been here for over 10 years and we still cannot vote.
And it depends on the Nigerian. There are different Nigerian diaspora.
True, there's the new wave.
This is the international Nigerian
international student experience.
International undergrad students.
Because there's international graduates. There are people who come college and then they get their PR and then go back to university. There are so many different ways.
There's different experiences, but interesting.
It's so funny because when NSARS was happening, I was like, I'm going to fly back to Nigeria for elections. You know what? I think my parents are the ops. I ain't going to lie to you.
They discouraged you?
They didn't well, they did, actually. So I went back to Nigeria in December, right?
Yeah.
The December before, like, no, it
2021.
I went the year before, like 2021 into 2022. And it was kind of around the time that they were about to close PEVC, like, registration and everything. Or some
was that it?
They kept shifting the deadline.
Yeah, because like PVC closed like 2 weeks.
Yeah. But like they kept shifting it, right?
True.
But as of that, there was one deadline as of that time. And I was like, oh, when I come back, I need someone to take me. Because again, my parents don't allow me. They're like, you don't know this country. Like, you can't just go out and say you're going to get your PVC. Like, you need someone to show you the way and blah, 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 and stuff like that. So I was like, oh yeah, now then someone come with me. My parents were laughing. So they're like, okay, so you get PVC. Will you now come back and vote? I was like, deadass, I will come back and vote. But they just didn't take me seriously, to be honest. And if I was like less agreeable, I feel like I would have found a way to be there. But sometimes when you're under your parents' roof and like, again, the unique experience, like I haven't lived with them as an adult. So I haven't established an adult relationship with them yet. So I really couldn't just be like, bye, I'm going. First of all, I didn't even know where I was going.
Scrim.
Let's start there.
Yeah, I know that makes sense.
Because you still depend on them somehow, some way.
Yeah.
Man.
And then they packed me to the village. So for like a week out of the 2 weeks I was there. So like,
I remember.
yeah.
That was so funny.
it's funny because that's not even what we actually came here to talk about.
Yeah, but I guess this is how
We have been
go
here,
sometimes.
like-
We have been gone for a minute.
Yeah. Okay. So I and Mama were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
We
always
were.
are.
We always are talking, actually. Annie Mama were talking, and like we were listening to some episode that we recorded with another podcaster.
DSL, I believe.
Hey.
Yeah, it was the Date, Sex, and Love podcast. I believe.
Say more confidently then.
DSL.
Yeah. So we were we were recording with her, and like we recorded like maybe like months and months really ago.
Oh yeah, and she just
dropped it, and then
yeah.
we listened to it, and we were like, oh my gosh, our opinions have changed drastically, like since we recorded this podcast, and so we kind of just wanted to talk about how our opinions have changed over time and over the years, and like what we thought about just generally things has changed. Things that we've talked about on the podcast and maybe things that we haven't really. And I think it's a good way of coming back. It's like more reflective on who we were before and then going forward. And we are still going to change even more, to be honest. Everything we say here really might change in the next couple of months.
True.
Even before we drop the episode, maybe.
Maybe
somebody else will
mean, on reflections and growth, it's like...
It's just part of life.
It's part of life. It is what
you
it
know
is.
what? When we're talking episodes, the biggest episode I regret dropping on Africalypso, and I still haven't taken it down because because content. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but we're talking about like, can guys ask girls out or something like that?
Can girls ask guys out?
Can girls ask guys out?
I remember that episode vaguely.
Because I had gone to Houston. I was like with my friends and we were drinking.
It was noisy, right?
Yeah,
I
remember
it was
that.
terrible audio quality, first of all. But like we had been drinking and we were young. I feel like I thought I was so grown then, but I was like 1 year out of university. No.
At every point in our lives, we're always going to think we're so grown.
Even now.
Even now.
No, I was still in university, actually.
You were still in university?
Yeah, I was still in university. So maybe 2018. And I was like, oh, yeah, girls can ask guys. I no longer believe that.
You don't believe
like,
girls can ask guys out?
I feel like girls can ask guys and like absolutely go about your day. I just won't do it.
I mean, I've been you. I'll never do it. But
no,
like,
I was saying I will.
Oh, you're saying that you would do it?
I champion it. I will do it. I always
What's
do
it?
it.
You wouldn't do it? I'm actually shocked.
Yeah, not
You're
anymore.
shocked?
I'm actually shocked that she wouldn't do it.
Not anymore.
No, I believe that she wouldn't do it now.
Thank you, Hadiza.
Then I believe she would do it then.
Okay, yeah.
And I did do it then. And I feel now that if guys, like, because of socialization, guys have been taught to be the approachers.
Okay.
And again, this is a generalization, but generalizations usually
I think especially
are the
for
case.
Nigerian guys
Yeah,
as well.
and that's my demographic.
Yeah.
That's spec.
That's my spec. Let's be honest.
For the listeners that don't know, spec is specifications for a man that you like.
Absolutely. Not the disclaimer. But yeah, like I feel like because of socialization, by the time you are verbally, like literally asking the person out, like they might just not
be as into you anymore?
Not anymore. They might have not even been into you enough because they were socialized to be the approachers. If they didn't
approach you, then they didn't like
they didn't feel you enough to be the approacher, then they just might not. They might like you, but probably not the way you want them to like you.
You know what? It's funny because I think on reflections, I think more recently, like even with our conversations, I said I was shocked when you said that you wouldn't ask guys out anymore. But I don't think I'm actually as shocked anymore because I'm thinking of even our more recent conversations, and I think like there's been an evolution
of what?
Not in a bad way, but I feel like it's like.
So Matilda is becoming more.
Well, I don't understand. An evolution of what?
Of your thoughts and your views. I mean, but then again,
in relationships or in general?
I think specifically as relates to relationships, actually.
Okay.
And like men and women interactions.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I'm not judging or anything. Like
No,
there's no bad thing I don't like. I'm like, I don't want it to be like I'm like, you know.
I like hearing what people have to say.
Because like I think like I'm looking for the word. I think before, but then again, it's also, I guess, like just with life and growth. But I think like before, it was like you were like more of like a Twitter feminist.
But I still am.
You know, you still are a feminist for sure.
Girl.
But I think like some like especially as it pertains to relationships and stuff, like this conversation right now about asking guys out, it feels like there's like a more softer realistic approach.
I've become
that's
soft.
The word.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, I think it's a softer, realistic approach. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of
oh man, age is making me soft. I don't like that.
No, but I don't know that it's
Might
a
not
bad
be
thing though. Because I think it's also realistic.
I think it's age. Okay.
I mean, maybe I think it might be age and
I also
experience.
think there's
it's also experience.
There's been a general experience and there's been a general consciousness shift of women. Like I feel like in society, I think women
with
are
the feminization.
Women are moving towards that
being more feminine and feminine energy.
That is not my incentive behind it.
That's not for me.
Let's be very honest.
It's not my cup of tea.
I think what it is like before I used to think more in ideals.
Like that's what I said. It's more realistic.
Yeah.
That's literally I think that's what it is. It's a more realistic view of feminism that I think before you were more like idealistic, where it's like I could ask a guy out or whatever, and I don't care.
That sucks. That like. Because I still believe in the ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sucks that life makes you have to be more realistic because the realistic thing to me is not the best.
Because I think we were having a conversation one time and you were like, oh, that I have a blind spot for like always supporting women even when they're, I mean, I do.
Emma has a blind spot.
There's a branch of feminism that
like women can do no wrong.
There's actually a term
that's
for
not
that.
Me, though.
It's not that women can do no wrong. But then there's a branch of feminism that's like, we need bad women. And we need all of them, like bad and good. I think so. They support the bad, like not that they support, but they're like yes, representation.
Actually, it's funny because I actually think like that was probably what we're talking about. Where I was saying that I do think that.
Let me tell you exactly what we're talking about. Imama was supporting what's her name? The girl from Love Island this year.
I wasn't supporting her because I didn't like her.
Tanya.
I didn't like her actually, funny enough. I wasn't supporting her. What I was saying was kind of what Hadiza just said, where it's like, I was like,
we need the bad ones.
We need the bad ones too. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think, I don't even like the babe. I don't like the babe. Like, I don't like her. And she's not my cup of tea or anything. Like, I wouldn't recommend anybody to her. And like, she's not my cup of tea. But I was just like, I felt like kind of, a lot of times with women, it's like we always have to be good and nice and on our best behavior. And I was like, no, it's good that we do have a representation of the bad woman. Yes, we should not like her. But with men, a lot of times, with like especially on Love Island, we see a lot of terrible men, especially on Love Island.
But
and
my counter thing to that, and the reason I don't believe like in this bad women thing is like I feel like now women are like trying to be like men instead of trying to be our best selves.
Okay.
Like it just feels like, oh, because there's bad men, there has to be bad women. Like I don't see that logic.
No, that's fair. I hear that, and I obviously don't think
that's
that
a result of the patriarchy.
Aspire to. No, it's true. Yeah, it's kind of like the same way. Like it's with racism as well, where they're like, oh, because like some white people are.
You don't actually hate the oppression. You hate that you are the oppressee,
and you're not part of the.
Like you want to be an oppressor.
You're the loser.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why a lot of times, not always, but like when women are in leadership positions, sometimes they can be terrible because it's like they have a chip on their shoulder to be just like the men. But no, we're trying to make the system better. So like it's like why do we have to be like men?
I agree, and I do think. And I actually fully agree with that though. I'm like, I don't think that we should be bad women. But I just think like, I think all I was trying to say was that bad women do exist and it is not the end of the world that they do exist. And I think that they do exist and they should exist and they should face the consequences of their terrible behavior. Actions, And I feel like that was just like what I was trying to say. That's another thing.
So I think these days, a lot of people are angry. Like this is just the conversations going on. That women, even if they are bad, they don't get to face the same consequences as men who are bad in the same way, essentially. It depends on what the situation is, but I think there's also been a lot of, from the men's side of things, to say, women are winning twice.
Are getting away with it, kind of.
Winning twice. In certain...
Okay, before I talk and you said I'm always supporting women.
I'm about to say, you win some, you lose some.
I was going to saying men have been getting away with it for so many years. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that women should get away with it. Like, that's my thing. It's funny because I
That's
think
probably
like,
why men are angry.
It's like
It needs to be right
because
now,
they've been getting away with it for so
because they've been
many
getting away with it
And now
for so
they're not
long,
getting
and now
away with it
women
now.
they're not getting away with like literally anything.
Anything.
And then women are starting to get away with, so they're like angry. I've been hearing a lot of like
Yeah.
those red pill men, like apologists, like what do they call incel
Incels,
apologists?
yeah.
Like
What's
a
an
lot
incel
of people,
apologist, sorry?
like a lot of people are reasoning with them,
understanding
like,
their point of
they're
view.
trying to
I say
understand,
that
like
sarcastically.
no, but
Okay.
they actually literally I like there's a podcast I listened to that they apparently there's another podcast that studies like those
Incel
guys, the
apologists or the
incels.
incels themselves?
No, they study them and like
Okay.
they give like almost like trying to understand their point of view kind of thing. And it's like when men are lonelier and when people are saying men are lonely, everybody's like, oh, men are lonely and this is why and this is what society needs to do to like help men. But it's like, what are men doing to help themselves? Like though, like I really like every time I have conversations about this, I'm just like, yes, women are loud now and like we're talking about issues. There are issues with like men, I agree, but why are men not leading those things?
Why? This is definitely going further. Further.
Yo, it's okay.
But
I mean, it's all the topic of
I
reflection.
keep seeing
Reflection,
this like I don't know how true this study is. I probably need to go back and verify. But then that men are actually going to like universities less and less.
Oh yeah, actually,
Like
yeah,
every
I
year,
saw that,
there are less percentage of men going to universities as opposed to compared to women. And I'm always like wondering, like, what is the that is so random. Like that is crazy.
It's probably not random, but
Well,
yeah.
like that's what I'm saying. What is I'm thinking to myself, that is random because I don't know the cause. So what is the cause, right?
They
Yeah,
should
they
go
can't
and
help
find
you. They
us.
should go and investigate.
Yeah, because like for example, like with women in engineering, like there's so many initiatives to try to get girls like into engineering and STEM, and a lot of times you see like women leading it. So it's like when these kind of things happen with like men not going to university and stuff, men need to also rise up and help themselves to like actually like speak up for yourself and don't like make it be like, oh, when men talk now, they are always attacked. Yeah, when women talk too, they're attacked, but they talk anyways. Like, let's not cry over being
that
attacked.
part.
It's gonna happen. Like, just fight for yourself. So like, I
Yeah.
don't know. I no longer am listening to incel
Incel
apologies anymore.
The fact that you ever listened to them in the first place.
No, I really was because I am intrigued about everything. But the more I listened to the more I was like, why is there so much conversation like being
It's
like,
like,
oh, men are
it's so much,
lonelier
and that's the thing. I
now.
feel like it's a lot of like pity. Like, oh my gosh, like there's
Nobody pities women.
So I do feel okay in the situation
Okay, I
where
guess some people pity women. But
hey,
like,
is this my stomach that is growling? I hope it doesn't enter the recording. I do feel though that whenever men decide to rise up,
right?
they do need sponsors. So at the end of the day, we need to support.
No,
I
actually,
absolutely
and
support
I
them.
think it's interesting because I do agree with you, but I remember I was actually having this conversation with like somebody a while ago. And I was like, yes, like, you know, I think like when they do rise up, we'll support them. But it almost feels like
Not us
I know,
talking like
rise
we're in
up.
position of power.
As if women are at the place where we can even
And I feel like that's the thing. It's like women are not even
there yet.
I'm like women are not even there yet. So sometimes it feels like they want women to like help ourselves up, so help women up and also now help men up. It feels like they kind of want us to be doing double duty. And it's like, can we finish our own work
Yeah,
first?
yeah,
Or actually say, can you like start your work and like we would join you? And
Yeah.
can you also join us in our work? Like I feel like ultimately at the end of the day, it's going to have to be a joint effort from both sides to help both parties. Like I don't believe in misandry. I don't believe in just like casting men
Blatantly.
aside. I
Mama
think,
is giving a disclaimer.
because like
She
let's
wants to make
not
sure it's
be
correct.
like I sound like I do not hate men. I
well-
love men. Like I
Yeah, same.
please can we maintain focus? But I just think that like I do think that like, you know, women are still doing a lot of I'm very pro women. Like I'm very pro women. Like I said, the conversation with Matuda, like I will support women most times. Obviously when they are wrong, I will call out their wrongness. It might take me a little bit
But
longer
in
to
silence
see it.
too.
Probably in silence. But it's kind of like that
Let
thing
me
where
take it
it's
to the
like
corner.
you call out your person, like your person is messed up in public. You be like, come, let me
You
talk to
bring
them.
them
I will
outside.
call them out in front of the people that are trying to tear you down. I'm so sorry. Like, except you actually do really deserve that, then maybe I might. But ultimately, I think like what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, I do think that we would all have to help each other. Like, I do not believe in anybody doing anything by themselves, whether it's women, whether it's men. I think we all need to join and like help each other. Like,
yeah,
uplift.
and I think we move further and further away from that every day.
I think so
to be
too,
honest.
actually. Which is unfortunate because it almost felt like when the feminism movement was rising, I felt like that would have done it, but it almost feels like that got men angry, and then that got women angry, and then it got men angry, and it got women angry. I'm just like, that was not the point, guys. It was meant to like pull us together, but
yeah.
But anyways, what other reflections are we reflecting on?
Yeah, I wanted to use this wheel of life thing that my therapist. Oh, I'm in therapy again.
Hello.
Yeah, but
That's a good thing.
Take care of your mental health.
Yeah, it's a good thing, I guess. But yeah, it's because I was just saying, like, I was always complaining, and she was like, okay, there's like this wheel of life thing that you can like score like the different aspects of your life and stuff. So I thought and it's used for reflection. So I was like, we can use that too to like reflect on where we are in like the 8, and there's 8 things in the wheel. But the first thing is like business and career. So have your thoughts about like your career path or building a career and etc. Like, has that changed since we started the podcast? Yeah.
No, not for me. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's changed a lot for me, actually.
Me too, but Hadiza, you go.
Why me?
Because I've been talking.
Okay.
Girl.
Okay. How has it changed? It's changed a lot for me, I think. I think I definitely had a view of, I thought things would be linear for me, but things have been very much up and down, like very unpredictable, uncontrollable. So I think my views of career now is more so, I think it doesn't matter what I do for work. What matters is the things that surround my work. Like, can I clock in at 9 and leave at 5? Not carry work outside of work? Am I being paid well enough to live in the area that I'm living?
Important cue.
Yeah?
I say important cue. Like,
yeah,
important
like,
question.
am I, can I live a good quality of life? Like, do I have access to bike paths? Like, is it a walkable city? Is there greenery? Are there
So you're
things to
thinking
do?
more of things outside work now instead of
Yeah,
like
because at the end
focusing
of the
on work.
day, I think I felt like I had a very idealistic view of work, and I felt like the work I would do would change, like,
The world?
the world, or not even the world, but at least make positive change. And I realized that you're like, a lot of times, most of us just push paper, really. Like, at the end of the day, people have to make profits, and like, that's just it. People have to make money in capitalism, capitalist society. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think about a whole bunch of other stuff outside of work itself. I don't care about career. Career is dead.
Yeah, I'm screaming. I kind of like relate with what you're saying, because a little bit, because I still care about my career, but I think what has changed is, before, I think my identity was around my career, and like more and more I'm realizing that it's not all about that, and that like it doesn't have to define me. Because like when I was in school, I was like, when I graduate, bro, because I used to go for this women in engineering seminars and etc. And like they would talk about their career, and I'm like, bro, when I graduate, when I leave Carleton, I'm going to move to Toronto, and I'm going to be a boss babe. I'm going to climb the career ladder and like, be a CEO.
Scream in, not the fempreneur.
I did not know. I've never heard of that before.
No, you've never.
You haven't heard of
I'm not
CEO?
a femme. What did you say?
Fempreneur.
And I've never heard of that.
Like, you have to get with the lingo.
Get with the lingo.
Hello.
But I think now I'm also getting to that place as well, where I feel like life is so much more than like your career and like what you do. I think I care more about money now.
Yes, money is also, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. I still think there's a part of my life that I'm going to have to let go of, because right now I say all of this, but I'm still prioritizing my career. Like, I'm still trying to build it. But I never thought I was going to change the world per se, but like I just thought I would be special.
I mean, you are special.
I am special. I just thought like I would have a bigger impact than I am having right now. And I think at some point, like I'm going to try to deprioritize that because I want to. Another goal that I have in life is to live like not such a linear path, like in terms of like go to be born, go to school, when you graduate, work, get married,
You
and
said
like
be born, like you could have controlled that.
yeah, because it's not something I could have control, but like it's just like
Yeah, I know,
part
don't
of
mind
like
me.
this linear path and then die. But I want to do something different, and that part maybe like my past is still like I'm still holding on to that dream. But I want to do something different. I want to break from the mold because I feel like, unlike you, I think my path has been more linear so far. And it's a good thing. I'm scared to disrupt that, but then I also think that it's necessary to break into other things that I have to do in life. But yeah,
Interesting.
yours, it really hasn't changed.
Actually, it's funny because I don't think mine has changed. I actually think mine has gotten stronger.
Okay, like
So,
in wanting to build your
wanting
career.
to build my career. Yeah, I think like, yeah, no, I know mine has gotten stronger. Because like even now I'm like signing up for like fellowships and mentorships.
Do you know the
and-
difference?
What?
Imama has been out of the workforce for a while.
That's true. But even when I was in the workforce, I decided to do my master's. That was related to my career.
So career.
Yeah,
okay,
so
that's
it's
fair.
like ultimately, I think like I've always known what I wanted to do, and like I've always like kind of like followed the path of what I wanted to do. When I did finish school, I didn't do exactly what I wanted to do, but it was still in that field of like helping. So my field is healthcare essentially and medical devices. Well, healthcare, yeah, medical devices, and like what I did after school was still related to healthcare, not quite medical devices, but because even though I worked for like 3 years and good money was a linear path as well, I still wanted to do what I want more. So I went to do my master's and now I'm done my master's. Thank God.
Oh my gosh. It's true. That's something that's changed because like
that's something
all
that's
throughout
changed.
like our recording
I
and
was
like
in
how
my
things were
master's,
changing. You were
yeah.
always talking about
School,
Imama
yeah.
finished. Oh my god.
Thank God. But yeah, so now I'm done my master's and like it's like I still want to do more in my field. Like I still want to be and do more. And like, even the work that I'm like doing now, like I'm about to start doing, is not exactly quite in what I really, really want to do, but it still touches that field. I think ultimately, even when I was applying for jobs, and the reason why it probably took me longer was because I was applying in like certain fields I didn't want to, like I knew what I
Actually go
wanted,
into.
and I just kind of, I think like I said, for me it's stronger because even now I'm like thinking of ways to improve myself, to improve my career. So like I said, I'm doing like mentorship stuff. I am like signing up for like fellowships and just like thinking
Fellowships,
of ways.
what are those?
Well, I mean, not like boot camps, like the thing I sent
Oh, okay,
you.
stuff like that. Okay,
Exactly,
okay.
like just like thinking of ways to like improve my career. And I don't think like I'm like my career. Like I don't see my identity in my career. I see my identity in Christ. Hallelujah.
Amen.
But yeah, no, I don't see my identity in my career. But I do think like for me with my career, I want to help people using healthcare, and that's a thing that I really want to do. And I think like ultimately with that, it's like I think like my career is something that should glorify God. Sorry, I know I'm being very churchy.
Preach,
but
sister.
I mean,
Preach.
I don't apologize, but
Yeah.
anyways, I think my career is something that should glorify God, and ultimately, I want to do something that I think like helps people through healthcare, and I'm just trying my best to just keep pushing in that field, and I feel like in a way I want to also be a leader in that field as well. So I'm trying to do. What
Do you
look
get
at you.
CEO?
But it's funny because I don't even really see myself as a CEO.
Not a
I just see
CEO,
myself-
but just being a leader.
Yeah,
in
just being
the
a
industry.
leader
You
in
don't
the
have to
field.
be-
Like, I see myself potentially giving like talks about what I do and stuff like that. So it's like I think it's because like I've seen what the end looks like.
How have you seen what the end looks like? Like
I've-
you know people?
No, I made a picture in my head of what the
Oh,
end looks like.
okay.
Yeah, I made a picture in my head of what the end looks like, and I'm trying to like work towards that. But I'm also allowing room for like, you know what, it might take longer if like, this doesn't happen, blah, 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 which is why in what I'm currently doing, like for work, it's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I'm like, I will do that for now. That's okay because it's still related to it. But ultimately, I kind of know where I want to go. So Yeah, I guess my career thing has gotten slightly stronger. It hasn't quite changed. I think I'm definitely a lot more disciplined, and I think I've learned a lot more perseverance as well throughout the years. And I think like that is also helping improve my career drive. But I've also known what I wanted to do since I was like
I think
10.
that's what it is. The more you talk, the more I realize like the reason I don't really see that is because I actually don't think I am where I should be, to be honest. Like I don't think I'm following like the whole engineering thing and like stuff like that. I truly feel like it wasn't really my
You said
calling.
you wanted to do like journalism or something like that.
And as you said, the more I thought about like writing or like, you know, traveling and writing about like what I am, like expressing myself more creatively actually makes me happier. But it's just like I never went that path. I never like grew that part of myself.
Podcast, look at that.
No, I know, and that's why when I do this, I feel joy. Do you get what I mean? So like I know that I'm not in the right path, to be very honest, but because I've never actually poured into the path that I think I am right now, it's just a concept. So I'm just like, I can't kill myself over something that I'm not super passionate about, but I want to be good at everything I do. So then I do it, but like I've realized there's so much more. And like, for example, podcasting and like everything surrounding that is important too. So yeah. But there's more actually. There's more on this wheel. I promise. Yeah. Finance. I guess that's kind of related, but yeah.
Wait, but like has our view on like finances changed?
Yeah. How you view money and
how I view money. I still want a lot of money.
I'm screaming. Yeah, that
I don't think it has changed. But I do think one thing that might have changed a little bit for me is I think this might be more about how I view the world and money. And I'm also trying to like not consume as much Twitter as I do right now because I think I was talking to my friend about how we all believe we're not as impressionable as we are, but like a lot of our views are really impressions from what we consume, which is a whole different topic. But I was saying like I think for me with money, I want to make a lot of money and like I want to do really well in life, but I also think that I also just do not like the way money controls the world. Like, for instance, like, but I don't know if that's a thing that has changed. I think before, so the reason why I would say it has changed is because before, I don't think I used to think about it as deeply. But more recently, I think about it more deeply. And maybe that's because, so for instance, the housing system in somewhere like Toronto, it aggravates me so much in Canada. It aggravates me because the thing is that when things go up, they can only keep going up. Yes, there might be a crash, but it will continue going up. Or it might just be stopped for a while, but it will continue going up. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense that we have to earn 6 figures plus to afford a house. People should not live like that.
Like housing should be like to have a roof over your head,
exactly.
not as an investment.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't mind having a house or two, but I think like when I start hearing people have like 20 houses, 15, I'm like, what? Why? Like, I get investments are great and I get that they're great. I've said that twice, but I don't know. Something about it just feels very predatory to me. And I think a lot of the ways I've started thinking about the financial system in the world just feels very, very predatory. And specifically, and maybe it's because I'm trying to buy a house and I realize that.
I think it's just the older, like you pay bills, you see like how the world just works and you realize that it's just running on greed.
Yeah, it's greed.
It's greed.
That's literally what it is. Because I'm like, there's money in this world. There's a lot of money to be made and to be had. But it just feels like people that have so much just do not even want people that don't even have enough to have.
Yeah.
And it just is very, very
I maintain that billionaires are not ethical, but
I don't know about that one. I haven't thought about that one.
If you have that much money, you shouldn't.
I don't know about that one.
Because like I don't know what that stat is, but it's like something like the richest 20% are like the wealth of like 20% or 10 people, 10%
can feed the entire world.
Yeah, they're richer than like the other half or something like that. I don't know the exact.
And typically, 80%. When you see a place where there's like extremely rich people, usually there's really poor people, like in the same like place. Usually, like the poverty is very bad.
But it's like it's hard to like. I guess maybe because we're like somewhere in the middle. But like it's like when you are in Nigeria, for example, even though it's not like you are like excessively rich either.
This is such
But
a
because there's
vast
so much, because there's so much poverty, those people are looking at you like you are also
Eat the
greedy.
rich.
Like they also want to eat you, bro. Like, do you get?
Yeah.
So it's all, I guess it's relative. But when it comes to billions of dollars, no, I don't think that one is relative anymore. It's not relative.
Everybody can see, even the millionaires can see that, bro.
I honestly do think that the millionaires can say that,
of
because
course, the millionaires can say that because you know how many millions it takes to
fits
get
into
to
a billion. That's
It's
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying. That's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
but I don't know. I mean, honestly, I haven't really thought about the ethics.
Maybe in
Let's
like
say
5 years we'll
ethicalness.
talk about it again.
Maybe,
And we'll
but,
see. We'll see.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I do think that's the way my financial.
You're right.
Having people's financial thingies.
Yeah,
evolved?
we just discussed this.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I just did, but
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement. I just want
Okay.
money.
So I just want money. fair.
Health.
Like, has our view on health changed?
I won't lie, I didn't used to think of health that much, but the older I get, the more. I think I keep saying this. TikTok is radicalizing me on like, it's like you like one or two things, and it's like you like that.
We're gonna bring more.
We're gonna bring
We
more.
gonna
So
bring
like
more.
I've been like, I have a lot of like health content on my feed, on my FYP, and
Come
to be
on
honest,
with the Gen Z lingo.
I'm Gen Z. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, like I think about it so much. Like it consumes me so much right now. And I think especially after the pandemic, I started gaining like, and it's not super weight related because prior, like the pandemic happened and then I gained so much weight so fast. Like first of all, I was having like, I would look at myself in the mirror and like it doesn't feel like me. Like
Body dysmorphia?
I want to say that, but I don't want to diagnose myself with something that I probably might not have. But I would look at myself and just not kind of like recognize myself. And I was at a fitness level that Doug Ford kept closing the gyms. Like I couldn't go. Like yeah,
sure, let's blame Mr. Doug.
it was him. Like because it's like in Canada.
No,
if it
I'm
was anywhere
joking.
else,
It was
honestly,
him.
yeah, it really was. If it was anywhere else, like if the weather is good, you can still go out for a run. But like Canada is cold most of the year. So like I couldn't go on runs the same way like I would. But like I gained a lot of weight, but now I still have the weight on me and I've gone back to like being fitter. And I think I'm actually happy where I am. Like I am happy with my fitness level. Like I still don't get me wrong, my belly fat is still disturbing me. But like I can move. Like I feel much better. So like now I'm very, very conscious of not getting back to that place because I've seen what unhealthy looks like and my food habits could be better, to be honest. But I think about it so much like now. But yeah, how about you guys?
How does it go?
I mean, health. I mean, it's something I definitely had to prioritize during the pandemic because during the pandemic, I realized that like if I'm not careful with my health, like it affects my mental health. Like I have a breakdown, like I could have, like it could be very bad for me, which is why me and Kamich were like,
guys.
Okay, that's how you know.
I know them very personally, actually. So I realized the link between food and exercise and your mental health, like strongly. And I realized that during the pandemic. So it's something that I tried to integrate during the pandemic. And to be honest, like even now, if my mental health is not great, I know where to turn immediather. So my mental health actually kind of acts as an indicator for me to say, you need to check your diets, you need to check your supplements. The other day I went to the clinic because I was like, I need to get the doctor to check my nutrition levels and stuff like that. Like, what am I lacking? So I know what foods to incorporate and stuff like that. And I mean, with something like mental illness, if you are trying to avoid mental illness, like it could come even if you are in the best of health, but then it kind of you're not asking it to come to you. You know, you're doing what you can to prevent it. So I think the pandemic, which for most of us, we realized that things can go any kind of way. You get what I can. So I think that's where my health
thing has been. But you know what's crazy though? I'm starting to have a hard time differentiating what was aging and what was the pandemic. Like for example, my metabolism has slowed down.
I think that's age. I don't know about the pandemic.
But like the pandemic was so long, like it it happened during my aging process too. So it's like I don't know what to like. I was stationary, truly. I was. I was much more stationary than I would be on a normal day. But it's like, what was the pandemic, and where in the pandemic did my metabolism actually like slow down proper? I really can't pinpoint it. But yeah, I agree with you. Like I have a friend that she couldn't sleep. Like she really couldn't. She would have a hard time falling asleep, and she thought like it was something else. Like she thought it was something happening in her life or her mental health and blah blah blah. And she went to get checked, and she's lacking vitamin B12, like severely lacking it. So like there really is a very strong link with your
Food
mental health.
and
Yeah, Mama.
It hasn't changed though.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think my opinions, like my views
On health has
I've always
changed.
been like I would say I've always been like a health conscious person. Like I mean, I've never really been like a food conscious person like that. But I also don't eat junk as much. Like we
Mama
talked
is
about like my ordering
gotta
out and all of
enjoy
those
life.
things.
Like
Huh?
gotta enjoy life. Like regardless.
I mean, yeah, like I have to enjoy my life. So like
Yeah.
I love food and I eat a lot of food. I don't actually no, but that's the thing. I actually don't eat a lot of food. Like I don't eat like my portions are not big or anything, but I eat food because I like it, and I think, and I still eat food because I like it, and I don't eat like lots of junk. But then again, I've also never really eaten a lot of junk. I don't drink pop. I've never really drank a lot of pop. So I think like when it comes to, like my health and like food and all of that, not much has changed. I still want to look like Serena. Like that's still my goal, and I haven't been able to do as much because school, quite frankly,
Just blame it
overpowered.
on Doug Ford. It's okay. We can
no,
do
this
that.
was actually school.
But you
Call
can't
your
go-
professor's name. One of them.
no. But yeah, no, school was very busy, and I didn't get to do as much like fitness and like exercise and stuff that I wanted to do, and also like I really do want to see like a dietitian, and I haven't really gotten a chance to. Even though I'm pretty sure somebody told me to do, I won't do it.
Yeah, that's
But
that's why I haven't gone to see a dietitian.
I would not do it. I don't
Like,
plan to change.
If I
my
had
food.
a dietitian and a cook, okay, let's
Exactly.
move. But like
Yeah.
you can tell me, but am I going to do it?
But I want to know. I do want to know for the sake of knowing, because
What are they
maybe
going to tell you exactly?
I have no idea.
Okay,
But like
yeah.
I wonder if they might tell me like, oh, my body stores fat more because I eat something
XYZ.
And if it's something that I don't mind cutting, then sure. But it's like, if I'm being honest, like I said, I enjoy
mind.
food. I plan to continue enjoying food. I don't. I think I'm going to work. I actually like working out, and I love
I
working
remember
out.
Imama was saying that she's determined to outwork out
Yes,
a bad
I
diet.
still am determined to outwork out a bad diet. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'm just going to. I plan to just continue working out.
But the thing is, you can't.
And yeah, you can. You just have to be severe.
Yeah.
But you know what?
The
I
amount
while.
of
you know
working
what?
out that
I
you
do
have
think.
to
It takes
do
a while.
to outwork a bad diet.
But and I also
is
do
a
think I'm
lot.
just going to end up looking like a muscular fat person.
Stop.
Why? Because no.
mean?
I mean, I don't think it's mean because like,
No, I said, what does that mean?
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, like for instance, like I'm currently already muscular.
No, I don't.
We go over this every
Okay,
time.
maybe I
I
need
feel
to
like we
touch-
go over this every
I'm
time.
already
Actually, I
we
press
go over
Imama
this.
a lot.
Exactly. And she literally presses my body a lot. But it's like I'm already muscular, and I think like if I just keep gaining more muscle, it's just going to keep adding on top of the muscle that's there. So I'm just going to end up looking
You be
muscular,
Plus size Serena Williams.
Yes, I Serena Williams. Yeah, so I do think in a way I might need to change my diet, but I don't plan to like do anything too drastic. I think I'm going to change
has to
what
be
I
sustainable.
can, and if it's stressing me out too much, I'll revert and we'll figure something out. So yeah, my health view hasn't changed. Long story short,
I guess, okay, you're right. Like, your health thing hasn't changed that much, I
yeah,
guess.
I just want to
Okay,
be fit and
yeah.
happy.
And eat everything.
Well, not everything, but
That you
it's-
want to.
it's everything that I want to. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. Family and friends.
Why are we all so silent?
It's a little thing to think about. I think it's changed for me, but
yeah.
yeah.
How?
I'm still the same way, but I just think about it a little differently. I think then, like when we first started the podcast, I was still in university, and I was surrounded by like a lot of people. Like it was easier to have people around me, but like now I feel like because everyone is just like at a different place in their lives and everything, like it's just so much harder. And we talked about this actually in the friendship.
We did.
Yeah, we talked about it extensively actually in the
Yeah.
friendship episode. I'm still there. I feel like I want to find I'm still on the search to find my life people, like people that like I can do life with. Because it's like I've seen people have like soul sisters almost, like literally doing life. I don't currently feel like I have anyone I'm doing life with like that. And I want to, like, you know, yeah. So yeah.
Oh, that like tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. I don't know. It was just really like, it just felt very heartfelt and genuine.
But that's friends. I think family. I think my relationship with my family has gotten so much better since I started the podcast. Because I had been away from them for so long, and then now we have like more like hangout time and stuff like that. It's getting better.
That's nice.
How about you guys?
Friends. I don't know that. I don't think
It's changed.
I don't think it's changed much. I think I've always had very solid friendships and people that I called mine, like for as long as I can remember. Very thankful to God for that. And I think I still do. And I think if anything, maybe the one way it has changed is I can now visit them more. So it's like,
Because you're not in Saskatoon
because I'm not in Saskatoon
anymore.
anymore. And also, because I guess like, you know, like just like, I guess throughout the podcast, I didn't have money. I had money. I could visit them, and then
Catching
I didn't have money
flights.
anymore. And I couldn't visit anybody.
It was more like
And-
you had money, then you
then I
didn't
didn't have money,
then
and
now
I
you
couldn't
have
visit, and now I
money.
have money. And so I think like I don't think my view on like friendships have changed. I think if anything, maybe like one thing, but I don't think it's a thing that I thought about before. What I think about now is I really want to have my family around my friends. Like I want to when I have children.
Okay.
So like I want to live
creates.
closer to my friends. I want to live closer to my friends. I don't want to be like maybe Saskatoon was one that did it for me because it's like I loved Saskatoon and it was a great time. But I think like I want to be close to my friends. I want to be close to my chosen family and I want to be close to my family as well. Like that's here. And I want my family here. Like more recently I've just been like I really want my parents to move. I want my brother here. I want my people close to me. I think like I've been craving like I have a lot of, like I said, great genuine relationships, but I think before I didn't crave as much physical closeness as I do right now. And it's funny because in the episode 2 that the on friendships episode, we actually talked about like, you know, I think I had mentioned that friendships were not made to be long distance forever. I do think that we need real time in person friends. And I think like I thought that then, but I feel like now it feels more like like my body's craving like my people close to me. And I'm finding that I'm even more like touchy, I'm more like huggy with my friends than I was before. Like today during the photo shoot, I was like huggy, which is kind of but yeah, it's like I found and I
you've always
think
been huggy though.
I've always been huggy, but
Maybe
I think I'm
even
more.
more so.
I'm like more now. Like I think I really want my people close to me and I want to be able to see them when I want to see them. I don't want to plan and hop on a flight and I don't mind
I
driving
feel like
down.
that's all my friendships now.
They're
Like all my
far
very
away.
close friendships. I feel left alone. You people have left out of it.
Screaming, move to Toronto.
Oh no.
Move to the GTA.
That's all good. That's all good.
No, you're not gonna.
Thanks for the
consider it?
It's funny
suggestion.
because I actually thought like there's a part of your life where you liked the GTA.
Thank you for saying it.
feel
Points in
I
my
feel
life.
like
Like growth,
well,
reflection.
maybe not just
Reflection.
me, but people have spoiled it for you. I feel like if I came and I was like, wow, things are rosy, like things are amazing.
Yeah,
you
but
might still have
it was not just you. Like everyone that lives here talks about how like it's. I like the proximity I have to Toronto, like the GCA. Like I can come when I like. I
When
mean,
you
we're
want
right here,
to.
right? And it's like the middle of the week right now. But when I want to leave, I can. So I love that too. I can even do Montreal. Toronto is a lot. But in terms of like, you know how I said like I really want creativity. I feel like when I'm here, I feel that energy.
I actually think so too.
Literally,
because even literally walking into this place,
I literally was like, oh my
I was like,
God.
I like in my head, I was like, okay, this might be the reason why I like Toronto. Like that's literally was
Yes,
the first thing
yes,
that came to my
yes.
mind when I walked into here. I was like, yeah, I think I might like this place because of like
There's just
places like
things.
this.
There's there's creative outlets at much more. Ottawa is for government workers, let's be honest.
Scream.
So like, and it's fine for like everyday living, but if ever I was serious about pursuing like more creative things, like I feel like in Canada, Toronto would probably be my first step. But yeah,
Whatever you.
how do you say?
honestly, in the family and friend side, I feel like things have stayed the same because things have always changed, essentially. So I'm used to having changes in like family or friends and things like that. So that hasn't really changed.
Okay.
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 We kind of already talked on this like at the beginning of the episode, but romance.
Did we talk on that?
Well, I guess we just briefly talked about like the men-women thing, but because we went into it. But like I guess we didn't really talk about how our idea on romance has changed. Ideas on romance.
Ideas on romance. I don't think my ideas of romance have drastically changed. I think I've learned. I think that's what it is. I think I've definitely like learned a lot about even just how I am in love, how I am in relationships. And I think so because of like that learning, I do think that there were things that I guess before that I thought I wouldn't do that I do.
Relationship.
Like I don't know how to. I don't know. I guess I'm trying to care for whatever, but I guess like it's like there were things that like it's like that whole it couldn't be me or stuff like that. And I think you learn that it could be you, and I think like also just so maybe. I was gonna say like I've learned to give myself more grace in relationships, but I also feel like I was always a person that gave myself grace in things. So that's why I'm like I don't know, but I definitely do think I've learned. I think I don't know if I don't think it has changed because before I would say that I still believe what I believe now. It's just I've just like learned, and it's like maybe I've just learned. That's all. I've learned, but I still believe what I believe like. Then I don't think anything has drastically
So isn't it nothing
changed.
Like your view of relationships is still the same? Like
I think my view of relationships is still the same. I think like if anything, just like lessons that I've learned along the way. But the lessons I've learned along the way, if anything, reinforce the views that I had before. But it's just like, when you get into something, sometimes your brain cells might not fully be activated in every moment. But it's like, it doesn't change the fact that I still had those views before. Okay. I don't think anything has changed. I think my views are still the same. If anything, I just maybe would check myself more. I don't know. But that's kind of weird, but that was a weird one. But what if you guys?
I don't believe in relationships. So that's my view of relationships.
Wait, but that has changed though.
That has changed.
Wow, you don't believe in relationships. No. Please tell me more about this.
Courting.
I believe in marriage or being single. Like relationships.
Choose one.
Like
wow.
Like don't like what? Are we 19?
Wow, this is interesting. Like, I feel like we need to have a whole episode on this now. Because
I feel like I mean I do believe in courting. Like I believe in intentionally dating someone because you want that lifetime partnership with somebody.
Okay.
So because you want to build a lifetime with somebody, there are already things you already know, okay, these are things I'm going to have to sacrifice within myself. These are, so having that mindset going into because the person you're talking to might not be the person you do life with, but you have that
the
in
intention.
Your mind.
It's really the change of intention.
Because people need to make that decision before they even begin like dating or something like that. So personally, like don't waste my time. Like
I'm screaming. What changed that? Do you want to?
I think
share?
because I actually enjoy being single. But then if I'm to be in a relationship, I want like just let it be done. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that. I don't like the change that comes with relationship uncertainties, essentially. And not that marriage can't be uncertain, right? But then at least there's a goal you're working towards. And then you're like, okay, at least the goal fell through, but we were in the same mindset. We had the same values. We knew we were aligned. And if we didn't,
goals,
do you get what I'm saying? But then not that you're in a relationship and you're like, what's going on? And honestly, this is just me genuinely enjoying being single and being like, I can stay like this for a very long time. But if you want to come in my life and change things, like you don't disturb me.
Up.
Like
don't shake things up without a goal.
Don't disturb me.
Don't provoke me
to anger. So that's
unless you will be in danger.
Yes, danger.
What have you, Matilda?
I'm so sorry, but I just want to take a moment to actually say how much I love you guys. I know this is very weird,
Aw.
but I just realized, like, talking that we started this, like, 2018 or so, and like we, like, as you guys were talking about it, like, I was just like, we've been through so many stages of life.
we have.
And like just seeing us kind of like reflect on it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, we're actually becoming women. And like I really enjoy
I
like reflecting this,
know.
like reflecting through this together, because like as you were talking, like I know all the, like I know we don't super share on this podcast and everything, but like I know all the reasons like that have led to like our change of like opinion and reflection, like how things have changed over the years. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, we've actually been through, like we've experienced. I don't know, it's cool.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Because when I used to listen to, like, when I started the podcast, I started it because I was listening to so many podcasts and they had like so much life experience. And I was like, how do you get this life experience? Like, bro, but like, I just see like life just happens and like you
Yeah.
just go through things. Sorry. It's random because I guess we're not going into like the specifics of things too much because we're not that kind of podcast. But I'm proud of you guys. That's all.
Oh, I'm proud of you too,
Sorry,
girl.
can we clap?
As I was talking,
Yeah.
it felt like I felt like how I could see how womanhood coming out of her face.
Yes.
Like, it
yeah.
really
That's.
felt
I
like
think that's
that.
what it is.
Like it's like it almost like it's like you were looking just more mature,
Yeah.
and that was so
So
interesting.
I looked like a child before, but
no, it was
No,
not.
I think, yeah, but I think as Imama was saying, like I did see your womanhood.
Yeah.
In, like,
wow,
It's
that's
like it
so
was. I don't know.
weird.
It was just so interesting. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt like as you were talking, I could just see like it just you were just feeling more and more mature, and it was just like showing in your face.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. It's like your
Yeah.
womanhood was just like coming out. Like I was like in my head, I'm like, this is not a girl anymore.
I'm aging.
Like it was just not.
we're kind of
not that.
You guys should leave me.
No,
You guys
it's because
are
like I know where we were when we started the podcast, and I
Yeah.
think just like
We're
the
becoming
change
women.
of we're becoming women.
Mad.
I think it's
Yeah, I don't say
crazy.
girl anymore. Actually,
You know, it's funny. So, you know, Mother's Day just
Yeah.
passed.
Mhm.
And at my church, there was like a whole Mother's Day thing. And they told
Yeah.
people
They gave
to...
you flower,
They
didn't
gave me
they?
a flower for Mother's Day.
They
and I
gave
thought that
you
was
a
very
flower?
interesting. I was just
They
like...
said actually you should be mother.
I was like, I'm a child, but okay.
But it's crazy, like our age mates are having kids.
They are having kids, but
Yeah.
like... So my pastor said that all women should come out so he can pray for them.
Gosh.
And I didn't come out because like in my head, I was just like...
Wait, what? You didn't go? You're not a woman.
That's the thing. Like in my head, I was just like, I'm just not used to...
Coming out.
being
Part
called-
of that.
Yeah, because it felt like mothers and women, and I was just like, I
me, I'm
am
a child.
a
Yeah.
lady.
Stop, please.
I don't know. Like I just think I'm like, am I a woman? And then like when one of the women came back and then she sat beside me, she was like, why didn't you go out? Like you're a woman, and I was like. I am a woman. But it felt like a realization, like, And then, of course, they gave me the flower to show me, indeed, that
You are indeed a
I am a
woman.
woman. And then they gave me,
Yeah.
like, a whole, like, Mother's Day bag. And they were like, you're not a mother now, but you'll be a mother soon. And I'm like, amen in the future.
I'm actually
in future,
screaming.
amen. Say thank you in advance.
But yeah, I really appreciate that. Like, I just appreciate hearing like our differences. I don't know. In terms of how romance, I think I see, as with, I guess, everything, I just see things more realistically now and less like idealistic. I think, okay. Yeah, I see things less idealistically because I used to see romance as like romance. But I think the more I grow up, I feel like men and women are so different. And I keep saying this too, that I feel like I wish that men and women were socialized a little bit more similarly so that it can be
It won't be as hard.
easier. Yeah, because right now it's a little difficult for context, and I guess I don't know. I'm in a relationship right now.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was like, I think I want to be a bit more, just a little bit smidge more open on the podcast, because I think I really appreciate that about other podcasts. So the little I can share, I will. But I'm in a relationship right now, and like it's really nice and everything, but it's definitely like not at all what I thought a relationship was going to be like, and it's like a long-term relationship. I don't know at what point you can call a relationship a long-term.
Yours is long-term, my dear.
I'm screaming, but I don't know at what point you do, but it's less ideal than I had imagined it. Like, because I definitely had I thought that the person was going to think exactly like me, and I didn't realize it's completely men are from Mars, women are from whatever.
Pluto.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think I also realized with romance and a lot of times romantic relationships, friendships do that to you for sure, but I think you don't pay attention to it as much. But relationships are it's like a reflection. It's literally I feel like I've learned so much about myself that I had not.
That part.
I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think that's probably one thing for me too. I didn't expect that too. But I was mad. Mad, sure.
I'm that's crazy, bro.
You learn so much about yourself in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
It's really interesting, and I think I'm still learning, but I did not expect romance to be like this, both the good and the bad. But I didn't expect it. But yeah, we'll see where we are in the future. But it's definitely I feel like I'm seeing a more realistic view of what relationships are like, and you really can't learn it on Twitter. Twitter has a lot to say about relationships, but I feel like
you do the one that works for you and yours.
Yeah, and it's not a realistic view.
You and yours. That sounded rude.
I'm screaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it's changed. 6, personal development.
Well, I mean, of course it's changed. For me, at least, I got my master's. That's a huge...
Come on!
That's a huge... I mean, I haven't graduated yet, but
You've
I'm
gotten
done.
it, I think, yeah.
So it's I'm done my master's. I'm I think for me, that's the biggest personal development change. I've moved to a new city, moved to another city. I feel I think for me, those are the biggest things that have happened to me. Got a master's, moved cities a couple times. Traveled more. I traveled less for a while, but then I traveled more again. It's funny because even in my broke stages,
my mama will still find somewhere to enjoy life,
honestly. But actually, personal development. One thing that did change. We talked about finances, right?
Yeah, we did.
I've never been broke in my life.
Okay.
And I was broke. I mean, still I'm recovering. But I think maybe I'll tie that finances, personal development. I think that's one thing that I think that shook me. I got to see what that looked like, and I was like,
okay, I've actually.
I don't think we've ever been. Have you been broke before? Broke. As why I don't have. As why I'm in debt. She gets. It's not. It's not
no, I don't think I
mean, not that obviously I'm still surviving. I'm still doing well. Let's not be
yes. There's broke and there's broke. Yeah, because you still had a roof over your head. Kind of thing.
I could still pay rent, all those things. But it's I think
I think I know what you mean though, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I think that was interesting. So maybe personal development,
you've seen what
I've
it's
seen
like.
what it
You've
looks
been in
like.
the trenches.
I've been in the trenches. I saw what it looks like to actually be broke, and that was an interesting sight to behold.
Interesting. And I've never really experienced that.
I refuse to ever. I would never be broke in my life.
University broke is a little bit different
because everybody around
is broke.
Same.
But I think coming out of university and it's going to be very difficult, especially because your friends are getting married.
Everybody was
your
doing
friends are
so
traveling
well, and I'm just over here so can you cover me?
Yeah.
And I think it was so interesting because it's I came from significant income, so it's I was.
Imama came from significant wealth. Just say it.
I mean, honestly, I'm still in significant wealth. Hallelujah,
glory.
But yeah, it's I came from significant income, wealth, and I was just the progress was significant, and I was just I don't know her. Who is that? But so that was that on that, and that's personal development / financial development.
Hadiza?
I mean, I definitely Canada has humbled me. I can't even. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is actually the period of the quietest development for me. I feel like I'm constantly having to battle one thing or the other. And then this year, things have been, like my dad said this year, like things are going to be great. And literally things have been quiet. And I've been like, damn, that is
And
crazy.
it's a good thing.
Yeah, like it is. Like people,
stability.
like,
I guess.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
that's so good.
somebody will message me and they'll be like, oh, what's up? I'll be like, nothing.
And it's a good
And it's
thing.
a good
I know.
thing.
I
It's
get
like,
what
it's a
you
good-
mean.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm
that's
like, I'm boring
good.
now. Like that's
I
great.
love that for you.
Yeah. That's amazing.
You, Matilda?
Self-development. I was listening to this thing where the woman was talking about like sometimes it's like we're always trying to like self-develop, and I think that was me. Like she was saying like the reason she's super happy is because she feels like she's not
stopped.
constantly always trying to self-develop. Like she's not always trying to grow. Like sometimes, yeah, she has bad habits that could improve and everything, and when she has to, she will. But like there's a certain level of being satisfied almost that like comes, and I feel like I'm the person that's like always trying to self-develop, like always. Like once everything is stable, as Hadiza says, I'm like, this is not
What is the
comfortable.
next?
This is not comfortable. There's something wrong. Like I'm not living to my biggest potential. And I think that's always a thing for me. I think now I'm trying to in fact, I won't even lie to you. It hasn't changed. I'm still on that.
But your mindset on that has changed.
How so?
Your mindset has changed. It hasn't like actualized itself yet.
I think what it is it hasn't actually changed. I just think about it more.
Oh,
like I think about like I'm able to now tell myself you deserve rest. Like now I'm resting more because I'm thinking about it more.
But before, did you used to tell yourself you deserved rest?
No, I didn't actually. Used to
Yeah,
tell
that's what I'm
myself.
saying. It's changed.
Okay, I guess it has changed, but what I mean is like I'm actively trying to fight it. Like it's not like it hasn't gone. Like it's not like that mentality is not me anymore. Like when I'm resting, I actually feel like I'm wasting my time. That kind of thing. So I still think in terms of that, but yeah, I think it comes from a place of lack. Like I think that if I'm not self-developing, I'm going to lose out on something. I don't know, but I'm trying to work on that. And to be honest, I'm just like some people are doing much less and they're doing good. So like I should just relax, bro. Like because it's not even that as if I have a Nobel Prize. Like
I'm screaming.
Nobel Prize. No, I said
Prize?
Nobel.
Oh.
I said Nobel Prize.
No, that reminds me of that guy from secondary school.
No, I'm screaming.
Wait. One thing I wanted to ask my personal development actually is I've definitely I think I've increased in my faith a lot, and I think for me that's one thing that I would say has actually significantly increased or I think before, I mean I've been a Christian all my life. I've always I would say I've always been good in my faith. I think, at least, I don't know, but I think now it kind of feels more like I don't want to live for myself anymore. I genuinely want to live for God, and I think that's probably a part of my life that
has seen a lot of
development, and it's been kind of interesting to watch because it's just a full surrender. It just feels because I'm a planner. I mean, I love rest. We all know that, but I also I love making plans and making a plan for my life and all those things, and I still do. But I think just fully surrendering that and being you know what, I have this plan and God, I put it in your hands, and if it doesn't go exactly the way I want it to go, last, I know that I'm in your hands, which is better. So I think that's an interesting personal development as well for me.
That's a good point.
That's a good one. But it was interesting to see. I do see. I think I've seen your faith grow.
Oh my gosh!
It's good. It's
don't
inspiring.
do me. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. It's
Thank
amazing.
You. I'm trying to do better.
You're my pastor, my personal.
Oh my
pastor,
gosh!
For example,
Scream.
But 7 is fun and recreation.
Oh, that hasn't changed for me for sure.
Fun and recreation changed.
I still plan to live the funnest life.
I think my finances are affecting my fun and recreation. Because last year I thought I could have all the fun and recreation, and my bank account said, actually, if you don't sit your ass down,
I'm screaming.
Yeah. So
actually, I can see that. Actually,
I'm learning to pick and choose my my fun. like Imama you guys went to Mexico this year, and old Matilda would have been like,
I'll go.
FOMO, I will be there. I did not have FOMO.
I'm proud of you.
I know.
I'm
thank
very
you.
proud
Thank
of
you. Because I actually used to get FOMO so bad. But if I don't have the money, I just don't have the money.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I already have like my trips planned. So it's like the money has to come from somewhere. And it's unfortunately right now is limited. So yeah. How about you guys?
I mean, sorry. My fun is like back to what Matilda said. My fun is directly proportional to how much I have.
That sucks though. I feel like they're like, as we said, greed has affected like corporate greed has affected like the amount of like free things like that used to bring fun.
But not only that, I think there's a social perception now as to what is fun and what isn't fun. I think if somebody's like, it also depends on like, so how do I explain it? Like, I feel like if everybody around you is like, let's say at a certain income level, right? Everybody around you can't afford to travel, but you have a lot of people around you who can't afford to travel. So what will happen is everybody's like, let's go outside and play soccer or something. Like, do you get what I'm saying? But then if you're like, okay, I'm at a different income level now, let's go for a weekend trip somewhere because why not, right? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, and it kind of depends. And also when you're at a certain level, you're kind of like, I'm speaking for myself.
No, I'm hearing you.
When you're at a certain level too, you're kind of like, how can I get to this level that I need to be in? And also, you're also worried about paying rent and stuff like that. You don't have time to really think about what's fun to have, essentially. So, like, fun is really like, when you're poor, you cannot have fun. Like, this is just like, you can, but like, you need other.
I disagree.
This is my personal opinion, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is my personal opinion. It's hard to have fun. Or,
I mean, yeah, it is hard to have fun. It's harder, yeah.
Yeah, but then it also, and I think it's not really even about the money thing. It's more so you just feel like you are down and you need to come up.
So it's more a mental thing.
Yes,
not really that there's anything.
Yes, but it's hard for it not to be a mental thing, because if you're like, I need to pay rent, I need like, oh my God,
of fun and recreation.
You can't think of fun and recreation.
No, that is true. That is very true. I mean, that was me too. But I mean, I still went on my trip.
But like, yeah,
because...
I don't know where Mama's money comes from, to be honest.
I don't know, but...
But I do think like, because they were talking about how like, and I feel like it's been a very, very popular discussion now, how like the third spaces are disappearing and everything. And like a third place is like places like outside work.
I do think so.
Wait, it was work and home. Yeah. Outside work and home. People used to have places to go. But like now all the third spaces that exist, a lot of them are paid things. Like if you go to play basketball, I play in a basketball rec league. It's a paid thing. It's not like, oh, I just have friends that I can just gather together and go play, pick up. And so people have that, but I'm just saying it's disappearing though and stuff like that. So in fact, like in Toronto, like my TikTok, every day I'm scrolling through TikTok, there's always, a friend collective, come and find friends. It's a paid activity to even meet people. Do you get what I mean?
What? That's interesting.
It's like paint and friends or something like it's like finding friends is commercialized now. Do you get what I mean? So it's like everything that used to be free is now becoming like.
But then I also think it depends. Like, I feel like if you're in a group of people who everyone around you, like, let's say, like Toronto, all your friends are minimum wage workers, like, period. Like, you're going to find something fun to do that is, I mean, you're a minimum wage worker. You can barely afford rent. You're going to figure out something to do that's free. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to come in and say, let's play board games. You're going to do games nights. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like it's still... You can still do those things, like those spaces, like you said, are disappearing. But then it also still depends on what range you have available to you. You would pick the one that.
But then I guess we're agreeing on the same points because if all your friends didn't have money, like quote unquote money or whatever, you guys will find free things. So therefore, your money is not tied to your.
But then if you're now in a friend group where it's a mix. You're not going to, it's just more difficult to find that middle ground. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at, see, no matter where I am, I'm looking for free fun. Like, and because I want my fun to be more frequent, and
Right.
practically it can't always be paid. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
let's go to, like, it's been a while since, like, in university we used to just like have picnics, literally, like
Right.
you bring a sandwich, whatever, and it's been a while since I did that. And you're right, it's because like everyone is thinking more of like travel and
Right.
like let's go to
Mhm.
concerts and blah 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 blah. So it's definitely changing because of money. Yeah. Okay. We should have more fun though. Okay. And 8, lastly, contribution to society. How has that changed?
I think mine has changed. I care a lot more about politics, which is interesting because we've literally
Oh, that's
even
true.
when we started
When we
this
started,
podcast,
Mama was like,
I'm
"Let's
like,
not
guy,
talk too
what's my
much
business?
about
Literally, like I was like,
politics."
yeah, like, but I do think it's. I mean, I definitely think it's age and also the fact that I can see it directly
The direct
affecting me
impact.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like before, I could not see it directly affecting me, and also it's like I couldn't do anything about it. Now I still can't really do much about it,
But
but
you
I'm getting
can,
to the
though.
place where I can do a lot. Like
Even then you could, but it's okay.
how
You could.
I do anything with politics?
Like, you could lend your voice, and that's important. Like, it might not be as big of an impact, but there were people like that. They're just people though that have been into
I
politics since they
guess.
were young.
Yeah.
Like, they would go for like all the marches, all the. Do you get what I mean?
I guess,
And
but
they affected
no. I mean,
things. Like,
yeah,
do you
you're
get what I
correct.
mean?
You're correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think now I'm just like seeing the direct impact a lot more, and
Mhm.
and I think like even just like COVID, NSARS, like this Peter Obi saga, like everything is just, and even just like politics in Canada as
Not
well.
us talking about
like-
election as Peter Obi saga.
No, but I mean, it is like to a degree, and like even like
Yeah.
the trucks, like the truckers in Canada, like just like there's just been like a lot of things that I don't know. It's just been getting to me a lot more than it used to before. Like before, it's not that I didn't care, but I was just like,
How
this
does
is
this
sad,
affect me?
okay?
Mhm.
Like, but now it just feels a lot more like I feel like I want to do more. Like I want to say more. Like I want to be like, all of you are ridiculous. Why are you doing this? And like I want to kind of like I want to vote and make a change with my vote. Like even thinking about like the stuff in the US, even though I don't really like US politics like that, but like I think everybody's the same, but whatever. But even like the stuff in the US with the Roe v. Wade, like things like that, I'm just like I don't know. I think like I definitely kind of want to do more with politics and also just with like I don't know what it's like educating the masses. I don't know. Not educating the masses because it's like honestly, I still as much as like I think I care more about politics now. I don't think I'm a freedom fighter. It's like I care more, so I want to vote and I want to like maybe just
Do
about
your
it
part,
from, yeah, do my
really.
part. But it's
Yeah.
like I'm still not. I don't know if I'm going to be the person in the front of the lines type thing. But I just think like I kind of want to do more in that regard, and I also kind of want to just like. I mean, I've always kind of cared about kids. I think like now I kind of want to just do more with helping kids. And just like helping kids. And,
Is
like
that
helping
flower
people.
they gave you on Mother's Day?
Please. But yeah, no, I think I want to do more with like helping people now. I think like I just think that the world is just so hard and life is just so hard and people are suffering and going through so much. And I just kind of feel like I just want to do my part to help. And not that I wasn't a helper before, but it wasn't a thing that I really thought about that
Actively,
much or actively wanted to do like that. I was like, the one I can do, I'll do. But now it feels like I actually want to see how I can. So that has changed and that has definitely changed. But I think when you also think about the fact that like the housing crisis and the way I see money, it makes sense that that has changed as well because those things kind of all tie together. But I want to do more. I guess. Yeah, that's. And I also want a community that I can do more in. Because I think, like, I don't. Like, you know how some people are like, I've been in this street for like 20 years and
It's
I've
hard for us.
It
Like,
is.
when I hear that, it's like, for me, and I can only speak for myself, but I think it's a similar experience for you guys. we don't really know where home is.
Yeah.
Like home has been so many places. So it's like you don't really know where exactly is your roots than where you are specifically fighting for. But it's a unique experience, and
the Nigerian
probably there's probably a unique place you can also contribute to. You can help like international students, for
example. Like I actually
like
I want to see what I can do to help my interest in community, whatever that looks like, whether that is a moving community or a stagnant community, just whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's the way that has evolved for me. How does that just logic?
No, I'm just thinking. I think for me it's different. I think I've become actually less politic over time. I think when we started the podcast,
you were actually the one that was.
Yeah, I was very much like, oh my God, like we could change things. And I think now I'm just more concerned about, I think for me, my personal life, whatever was going on in my personal was more important to me than whatever was going on outside. Like it was more pressing. And I think now I'm kind of still in that place. Like, you know, it's a feeling of, like, I mean, in terms of community, like definitely you support community however you can, but then I'm not very interested in politics at all, actually. I care about the quality of life that people are living, because I'm also living the life essentially. But then not like I'm kind of indifferent. Like I care about the things that affect me directly, I guess. But then not enough to go out and speak about it. It's more for me, I'm like, okay, where can I move to that would be offering me something better? Like that's just kind of how
you are the community. You are indeed the society that needs to be contributed to, kind of thing.
Like where can I go? Like can I go somewhere else? Like
there's a different country that works. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You?
I don't actually think like my wanting to contribute to society has changed that much. I still am very, like I very much still care about politics. I very much still care about like contributing in whatever way I can. I think what has changed is just realizing that I'm not doing as much with the contribution as I thought I would be at this stage in life. And it's just because life gets so busy, and I've seen it get so busy. And I don't, again, have that community that I even connect with that I feel like I can give back to. Like before I was the person at the Women's March. Like I was like very much interested in doing that. But like sometimes now I sit down, like, for example, recently they were protesting in Ottawa, and like people were talking about like going out and supporting the government workers that were striking and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my, I don't do this anymore. Like, and now it's because like I'm working so hard on weekdays. On weekends, I just want to pass out. Yeah. Like I just want to rest. But it's like
even government workers just want to rest. No lies.
I am screaming.
Like, as in, like, the people who came out to protest, Lucky.
Not you coming for her when you are currently.
No, what I'm saying is, there's a context.
They want to rest, but it's like, it directly affects, and again,
because
some
there's
of
a
them
context, union, they are in unions, they had to step out.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by, like, some of them, they had to go out because their union is like, if you didn't go out, you're not going to get paid, or you're not going to, like, they had consequences. Basically.
Yeah, so I think I'm just at a place where I still want to contribute as much as I used to want to. That hasn't changed. But I know that I contribute less now because of time and life. Yeah. But I want to get back to a place where I care, because I have this thing where like when I watch YouTube videos about like, you know, the history of Nigeria or like disenfranchised communities and stuff, like there's this like fire literally that comes in
shut
me,
up in your bones.
So much so that like sometimes I cry. Like it's an emotion that like and I feel like when Canada decides to give me citizenship when they're ready, I actually want to go into politics. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but it's something that I really want to do. I just know I'm at a dip. Like I'm not doing as much as I want to do, but I'll be back. So 5 years from now, Matilda, please be doing something. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, that is it right
Yeah,
now.
I think that was it.
That was a long episode though. Like we went through a lot. And I think it's a good way to start. And I wanted to say that we should bring back our self-reflection. So like before, we used to do this thing, lessons of the week.
That's true.
I think this whole episode has been on lessons that
Lessons,
we've
yeah.
learned and stuff like that. So maybe we won't do it here. But in terms of segments, I wanted to bring that back, and it'd be nice. It'd really be nice.
I think so too.
Yeah. And another thing is that we said it at the beginning of the episode, but I just wanted to reiterate it. We are bi-weekly now. So that means every month we'll probably get one full episode and then one Amiibo interlude.
right.
And we're going to drop like every 2 weeks as opposed to like every week. And it's just, again, because there's so much
Life is
change.
lifing.
Life is lifing. And I think I also got to a point where it was more about like pushing out episodes than like actually enjoying what I was doing. And I used to enjoy it, so I want to enjoy it again. And I guess it's part of change and like where we are and everything.
Yeah.
But because we enjoy doing this, we're always going to come back. But well, until things change. But yeah, thanks for rocking with us. Don't forget to follow us at Africalypso Podcast. As Africalypsopod?
I don't know.
I don't even remember our
I think it's
anymore.
Africalypsopod. I think so.
Give me 1 second.
Lol.
Oh, you are right. Actually, it's at Africalypsopod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, yeah, sure.
Scream.
And we're on TikTok
What
as
is our
well.
Is that our TikTok name?
Yeah, Africalypsopod is
Okay,
our
on TikTok.
TikTok. So find us
Thank
there.
you guys. Love you. Bye. Have an excellent week.
It's so nice to be back, man.
It is.
Yeah.
This was nice.
This is nice.